Hey guys, welcome back to Digit.in, and today we are reviewing the new Infinix Hot 6 Pro. Now in the budget segment that is dominated by the likes of Xiaomi, Honor and Moto, the Infinix Hot 6 Pro is refreshingly new. It offers a new 18:9 aspect ratio display, dual cameras at the back and a massive 4000 mAh of battery. But is that enough firepower to take on the giants like the Xiaomis and the Honors of the budget segment? Well, we find out. Starting with the build and design, the Infinix Hot 6 Pro looks functional and minimalist. The phone is housed in a metal unibody casing with a matte finish that is both easy to grip and not smudge prone. The dual camera unit sits horizontally at the top left corner and the fingerprint sensor located centrally below that. The front is all screen with thin bezels. The phone weighs just 150 grams and looks a lot like the Xiaomi Mi A1, which is definitely not a bad thing. The phone also has a dedicated slot for micro SD card, something that most phones skip these days. The headphone jack is placed in the bottom alongside the speaker grille. Overall, the Infinix Hot 6 Pro comes across as a device that looks a lot more expensive than the price tag it carries. The phone's primary attraction is its 6-inch 18:9 display. It's only 720p, but the IPS LCD panel can reproduce colors quite well. Videos and movies on the screen looks bright and vibrant, and that's thanks to the amped up brightness of the screen. The screen has a pixel density of 268 ppi. In comparison to its competitors that offer a full HD display, this may seem like a compromise. The edges of icons and text appear a little pixelated because of the low pixel density. The brightness also adjusts automatically based on the ambient light. The phone, however, doesn't offer options to tweak the color temperature and color profiles, which are common in MIUI and EMUI based smartphones. It does offer a blue light filter though, in the name of Eye Care mode, that puts an orange tinge on the display to reduce eye strain. The Hot 6 Pro's focus is on watching videos, and in that regard, it's an acceptable experience with nicely saturated colors. The Hot 6 Pro is an entry-level smartphone running on a Snapdragon 425 platform with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. Phones like the Redmi Y1 and the new Moto E5 Plus run on the same processor. On Antutu, the Hot 6 Pro scores 44,358, while on Geekbench single core and multi-core test it scored 657 and 1706 respectively. On GFXBench Manhattan's test, it scored a meager 5.5 FPS, and on 3D Mark Slingshot, it could manage a score of 68 only. It's pretty apparent that this phone isn't good for gaming. I tried out popular games like PUBG Mobile, which wasn't really a great experience. The graphics was at low settings, and even then, there were occasional frame drops. In Chrome, a large number of tabs slowed the phone down, and scrolling through Reddit was choppy. Facebook and Instagram worked fine, and if you aren't much of a gamer, the phone is fine for use, only the phone took some time to load the apps, and you might sometimes feel the phone might get sluggish after prolonged use. By its performance, the phone seems to be aimed at non-enthusiasts who simply wants a phone to access the web, watch videos and place calls. Infinix's XOS Hummingbird 3.2 UI has a polished and clean interface. The icons are consistently designed, and there's an app drawer as well with the app alphabetically arranged. It's quite visually appealing as well. The UI comes preloaded with a bunch of apps that includes a file sharing app, a video editor, its own app store, and even an app to its fan club. Interestingly, the face recognition feature of the phone is also a separate app in itself. It's quite wonky too. The phone takes a good 1 second to give you access. The fingerprint sensor that way is much more reliable and faster. The phone touts a 13+2 megapixel dual camera unit at the back and a 5 megapixel unit on the front. Both can take bokeh shots, and there's a soft LED light on the front as well. On paper, it seems to be quite loaded, and the photos aren't all too bad either considering its price. The resulting shots were high in contrast and saturation. The details on the photos aren't all that high, and the macro shots come out a little washed out. The portrait mode at the back is quite aggressive in its blurring, making it look a tad bit artificial. Highlights are also washed out while in the mode. The front camera can also take decent selfies. There's a beauty mode that tends to whitewash all the details on your face. In the bokeh mode up front, the blurring is much more consistent. Edges around facial hair was preserved to some extent, and the contrast kept a notch higher. The resulting image comes out quite decent, good enough for your social media credit. There's also a front LED flash, which is better left unused. The camera was also quite snappy and we didn't really face much of a shutter lag. And finally, there's a 4000 mAh battery that can last you a day or more. Under heavy usage, the phone managed to last a day with two 40-minute episodes streamed on Netflix, along with ample use of camera and web browsing. The phone does not support fast charging and took around 2 hours to refill. So overall, the Infinix Hot 6 Pro comes off as a device that is not suited much for power users, but instead, if you like watching videos and consuming social media, the phone comes off as a good choice. It isn't that powerful, but it lasts long. The camera also doesn't come off much of a compromise and is actually quite decent. At Rs 7,999, it's also quite affordable, but if you have Rs 1,000 more, you can always invest in more powerful devices like the Realme 1, the Xiaomi Redmi 5, and even the new Moto E5 Plus. So what do you think of our new review? If you like it, do let us know in the comments, and for more videos like this, do subscribe to Digit.in.